Hi, Hugh here from Cavanaugh's of Charleville. The KUGA plug-in hybrid electric vehicle, or PHEV, has been on the road for over 2 years now. During that time, a lot of motorists have never test-driven the PHEV because of some myths that surround it. Today we're going to dive into some of these myths and try and establish what the real facts are when it comes to the KUGA plug-in hybrid electric vehicle.
Myth number 1. The KUGA PHEV is an electric vehicle. This is not true. The KUGA PHEV mainly runs on an efficient petrol engine, which gets its energy from 3 distinct sources: petrol, self-generation and electrical charge. Myth number 2. You must charge the electric battery every day. This is not true. The battery does not have a requirement to be charged daily or even weekly. Furthermore, doing so will not affect the functioning of the battery over the longer term. Myth number 3. The KUGA PHEV is not very efficient. This also is not true. Without any plug-in charging whatsoever, the KUGA PHEV is capable of doing 4.8 litres per 100 kilometres, which is approximately 50 miles per gallon on a mix of typical urban and rural driving. With once daily electrical charging, this figure drops down to 3.8 litres per 100 kilometres, or 62 miles per gallon. This means that the KUGA is able to match and even exceed the fuel efficiency of diesel. Myth number 4. The KUGA PHEV is more expensive to run. This is not true. Whilst petrol is slightly more expensive than diesel to run, you also need to factor in the self-generation aspect of this vehicle, which accounts for up to 30% of the total journey, even if the vehicle is never charged. Taking both the petrol efficiency and self-generation into account, the KUGA PHEV is no more expensive to run than a diesel, and probably even slightly less if you were to add in daily charging. Myth number 5. You have to drive the KUGA PHEV slower to be efficient. Well, this is actually somewhat true. The PHEV is at its most efficient using the least amount of fuel and maximising self-generation when it is being driven at 80 to 85 kilometers per hour. This means that the KUGA PHEV is extremely suited to urban settings with lower speeds, frequent braking and lots of opportunities for self-generation. But with a lot of rural roads set at speed limits of 80 kilometers per hour, the KUGA is ideally suited to these journeys also. Myth number 6. The KUGA PHEV is more powerful than a diesel engine. Well, this is also actually true. The KUGA PHEV is capable of delivering high power very quickly. The rated power output of the engine is equivalent to around 225 brake horsepower, whereas a typical 1.5 diesel KUGA would have a power output of 120 brake horsepower.
So there we go. Thank you for watching. Hopefully that clears up some of the myths surrounding the KUGA PHEV, and we look forward to welcoming you down for a test drive during KUGA month, which runs all of this month at Cavanaugh's of Charleville.